Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Keira, and it's just me today. I'm just chilling in the house. I just decided to introduce something new to the channel. So I want to introduce like story times because I want this channel to be mommy friendly. Like I said, for all my new subscribers, this is a family channel. I'm a new mom. I'm a new young mom. So I want to welcome all the moms. I want all the opinions. I want all the advice. I want new story times. I just want this channel to be like a safe zone for moms, like just all moms. It don't even matter if you're young. It don't matter if you're a teen mom. It don't matter in any situation, whether you lost a baby, whether you had whether you lost a baby, whether you had your baby was born early, you're a mom, you have a story to tell, and that's what I want this channel to be. I want this channel to be a safe zone for moms to come and tell their stories. So today I'm just going to start it off. I'm going to be doing a story time about my experience as being a young single mom, and how it made me feel, like the different stages that I went through during my pregnancy and also after my pregnancy. So before we get into the video, guys, make sure you pause this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and definitely comment some more story time ideas. I think I want to have like an exact day, like a story time day, a specific day on when I do story times. So just comment down below any story time ideas. Definitely comment down below. Definitely click that like button. Definitely turn on you guys' post notifications so that you can be notified every time we upload. All right. So my story time is basically going to be about me just expressing how I feel, like the things that I went through as being a single mom. I know everybody is different. Everybody has a different lifestyle. Everybody raises their child differently. This is just going to be me telling you guys my experience. So don't try to bash me in the comments or nothing like that. But I'm just going to tell you my story. So let's get into the video. I first found out I was pregnant on September 19th of 2018. The feelings that I felt when I found out I was pregnant, I was very, very nervous. It really wasn't like a fear feeling. I really wasn't like scared or anything, but I was very nervous because prior to the time that I found out, my whole family was telling me, well, not my whole family, but my sister was telling me that I was pregnant. Before I even found out I was pregnant, I was sleeping a lot. I was moody a lot. I was drinking tons of water, and if anybody knows me, I am not good with drinking water at all. I try to drink water. I prefer to eat ice, which is bad because I have very low iron. So I was drinking tons of water, and that is actually the first symptom that got my attention, is me drinking water. Because I'm like, why am I so thirsty? Like, why is my mouth so dry? That has never been a thing for me. I never had dry mouth. I never had anything. I drink water, but guys, the way that I was drinking water when I was pregnant and I didn't know, it was like tons of water. Like I would wake up in the middle of the night and drown water. I would have to take like a big glass of water in my room at night because I knew I was gonna wake up so thirsty and so dry and just craving water. So that's actually how I got into my mind that I might be pregnant. And excuse me, guys, if I sound sick, I am. My son is sick. My nephew is sick. This whole house is about to be sick right now. So just excuse my voice if I sound pretty low. So, back to what I was saying. That is the first symptom that registered in my head, like, wow, wait, maybe I am pregnant. Maybe I could be pregnant. So you guys know, like, if you ever been pregnant, well, your first pregnancy, and like you just start googling stuff. You just start googling signs. You just start googling symptoms, and that's fine. That was me, guys. That was me. I googled, why do I have a dry mouth? I googled symptoms of pregnancies, all that, and then I was just like, I can't be pregnant. Like, I can't be. Everybody's saying I might be pregnant, but I can't be pregnant right now. Like, when you least expect it is when it happens. And I'm just like, dang. So one day, I was out with one of my friends, one of my guy friends, and we were going shopping. And I was just like, let's go to the dollar store. I said, let's just go to the dollar store and get a pregnancy test. Now, the guy that I was with was not the father of my child. Is not the father of my son now. He was just a friend at the time. So we were going shopping, and I went to the dollar store, and I was trying to hide it. I was trying to hide the fact that I was buying a pregnancy test from him, because I didn't want like the word to get around like, oh, she thinks she's pregnant, she thinks she's pregnant. I wanted to be sure first. I wanted to be sure first that I was pregnant before I even give the idea off that I might be pregnant. I don't want to ever be like, I might be pregnant and then I'm not. I would just rather me know for sure, me find out, and then I let everybody else know. So we went to Family Dollar that day, and I took the pregnancy test. When I got back to my dad's house, I took the pregnancy test. It was just me there all by myself. So I took the pregnancy test. It was like one of the little dollar store brands. You guys know the little dollar store brands where you gotta do it, the 3 drops and the lines appear. It wasn't the one you actually you have to urinate on. It was the one you had to do the little drop there and put it on there. So I took that one. I only took one test. I took that one. It said wait about 3 to 5 minutes. So I waited. I waited right there in front of the test. Like, I was like, I'm not walking away from this test. I'm not, because I have to find, like, am I pregnant? Could I be pregnant right now? So I took the test. I'm looking at it. I actually flipped it over, and I was just on my phone for a little bit. I was actually on my phone. I was actually on the phone with a girl that used to be my best friend at the time. So as the results are coming back, I'm just like, wait. I see one line, and then as it's like moving, and it's faintly another line coming, and I'm just like, wait, 2 lines? I was like, wait, what do 2 lines mean? Do 2 lines mean I'm pregnant? I look back at the box. 2 lines means you're pregnant. What? I look back at the box again like, no. This cannot be it. Am I really pregnant? So I was on the phone with my best friend, and I was like, oh, well, the girl that was my best friend at the time. So I was like, oh my God, look, I'm pregnant. What does this mean? 2 lines? And she was just like, 2 lines mean you pregnant? Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just like, no. Like, I'm still in shock. Like, no. This do not mean I'm pregnant. And it was a faint line. I was like, a faint line does not mean I'm pregnant. Like, it's faint. That don't mean nothing. It may be a false positive test or something. So I'm just like, she was just like, go get another one. Okay, I hang up with her. And I get on the phone with my sister. The sister I currently live with. And I'm just like, OMG, sis. OMG. Like, my sis was asleep. I woke her up out of her sleep. It's just like, oh my God. I just took a pregnancy test, and it's 2 lines. Like, what that mean? She said, you pregnant, sis? I said, sis, I cannot be pregnant. I said, even though it's faint, this still mean I'm pregnant? She said, yeah, if it's 2 lines, that mean you pregnant. And I sent her a picture. She said, oh, snap, you pregnant. I said, yup. I said, dang. And that, it really registered in my head a little bit then, but it really didn't hit me. And if you know, if you're like a new mom, if this is like your first child, you know, like, it still amazes me to this day that I carried a child for 9 months, for 9+ months. I gave birth to this child. I nurtured this child, and now I'm raising this child. Like, it amazes me because, like, I would have never thought, I mean, of course I wanted to have a family later on in life, but I would have never thought, like, dang, like, it's really my time. It's my time to have a baby. It's my time to be a mom. Like, I was super excited, but the way that I was feeling was like, dang, like, am I ready for this? Like, I started doubting myself. You know, I just started getting like really depressed. I was like really depressed my whole entire pregnancy. And that's where basically I just get into the story of like how I became a single mom. Because in the beginning, I was with the father of my child. We were in a relationship from my understanding. Well, I'm not even gonna say relationship. We were in a pretty good headspace. We were very understanding of our position in each other's lives. We communicated that, we hung out, we spent quality time with each other. But how I became a single mom is because we really weren't on the same page with each other. We really didn't have an understanding of where we actually stood, because to me, I felt like we were in a relationship. I mean, this guy will call me his boo, his baby. Um, he would just make it seem like that we're in a relationship. So me being the vulnerable woman that I was at the time, I was just like, well, I'm taking this as if you want to be in a relationship with me because you're doing all these things. So from me, from my perspective, from my standpoint, from where I stood, I was looking at him, I was looking at the father of my child as if he was my boyfriend at the time. And this is before I even found out I was pregnant. We were in a pretty good headspace. We were talking, we were laughing. I mean, we had a little bit of arguments here and there, but we were good. Like, it wasn't never a point where it was like, oh, forget him, F him, I hate him, all that. It was never a point of that until I told him I was pregnant. So I found out I was pregnant September 19th of 2018. I don't think I told him until like a couple months later. I think I had already went to the hospital to actually confirm. I had an ultrasound, and I don't think I told him. When I was in the hospital getting all this stuff done, I didn't tell him. I was on the phone with him the whole time. We were talking the whole time about stuff, but I never told him that I was pregnant. I never told him the reason why I was in the hospital. Just because the simple fact is, I feel like that type of news, I don't want to tell somebody over the phone. I want to get your full reaction. I want to see your facial expressions. I want to see how you're going to feel about this so I can know, like, where we stand. Like, we have a child now. So I don't want to tell you over the phone and then it's just like, oh, no. I want to get your full reaction. I want to know how you feel, why you feel the way you feel. What are we going to do? What are the next steps? Like, with parents, this is my first child, but it's not his first child. So for me, I was just like very excited. I was just very excited, and I'm just thinking about it. And I'm skipping ahead, guys. I'm just skipping ahead. So I was in the hospital on the phone with the father of my child. At the time, I'm just going to say he was my boyfriend at the time, because this is before, all this is before I even told him I was pregnant. So I'm in the hospital getting the ultrasounds, getting the pap smear, getting the pelvic exams, all that. And I'm on the phone with him, and I'm just thinking, like, should I tell him? Should I tell him? Should I tell him? And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to tell him. I'm going to wait, actually. I'm actually just going to wait until I see him in person. So I actually scheduled, like, I was going to get a hotel. I was going to tell him. But he wound up not showing up that day. I think we got into, like, a little argument. And the type of guy he is, he don't argue. Like, he would just walk away. He would give me my space. He would let me cool down before he ever, like, engages in an argument with me. And that's just the simple fact is he don't argue with women. And that's okay. Because we got into a little argument. And I remember hitting him up that day like, hey, are you still going to meet me at the hotel? He was just like, no, I'm not going to meet you at the hotel anymore. He just feel like we should have our space from each other since we just got into a big argument. We need our head space. We need time to relax. We need time to cool off. We need time to collect our thoughts, and then we'll just schedule a time for us to meet up and hang out and have quality time together. So that was the day I was going to tell him that I was pregnant. I don't know what exact day that was, but I had it scheduled, guys. I was going to get a hotel. I already booked the hotel. Luckily, that didn't even fall through, because that would have been a waste of money. I couldn't get a refund. So I was going to book a hotel. I was going to make it all special. It was going to be nice, and I was just going to, like, basically come out and tell him, like, I'm pregnant. I was going to show him the pregnancy test. I had 3 pregnancy tests at the time. Prior to the one I took when I first found out I was pregnant on September 18th, I had bought 2 more digital pregnancy tests from, like, CVS or Rite Aid or something. So I had 3 pregnancy tests to show him. And that's what I was going to do. I was basically going to just get him at the hotel, get him relaxed, get him comfortable talking. Normally what we do when we around each other. So he wound up not coming to the hotel. We wound up not meeting up that day. We actually wound up not meeting until, like, a couple days after the fact. So that day I was very upset, because I'm just like, I actually really wanted to see you. I actually really wanted to spend quality time with you, and you're just canceling on me at the last minute. Mind you, guys, this day for us to get a hotel, was not specifically planned for me to tell him that I was pregnant, but it was a perfect time to tell him I was pregnant. We had already decided, like, hey, you want to spend quality time? Let's get a hotel. Let's relax. Let's lay up. Let's do all of that. I said, okay, bet. And this was his idea, to get a hotel. Prior to me telling him I'm pregnant, guys, at this time he didn't know I was pregnant. So I'm like, okay, we can get a hotel. And then I had found out that I was pregnant, and I was just like, okay, so we're already getting a hotel. We're already planning on getting a hotel, chilling, kicking back, and relaxing. So I feel like that was the perfect time to tell this man that I'm having his baby. Like, but he wound up not showing up. We got into a little argument. So he wound up not showing up, and that really pissed me off, guys. That really pissed me off, because in my mind, I'm just like, over a little argument, you're gonna cancel plans, and you don't even know. Like, I spent my money on this hotel. I literally booked the hotel, but the guys, something went wrong with my card, so it didn't go through. But if it would have went through, that would have been like money lost on my end. So you're thinking of it as in a selfish way, as if, oh, I'm not gonna come because we had an argument. But like, I paid for this hotel for both of us to have quality time together, like you planned. So that just really set me off, and I guess because I was pregnant, I got really upset. So I was just like, forget it. Like, how are you not going to show up for me? How are you not going to be there for me after we planned this? Just being very emotional, just being a woman in general. Like, I'm a very emotional person, and I can admit that in any relationship I get in. I am very emotional. I like to communicate. I like to talk. If we get into an argument, you better sit down with me and talk to me. There is no running away. There is no, you can take your time away. You could take your quality time. That's fine. But what you're not going to do is you're not going to leave and then just come back and expect it all to be fixed. No, because there was no communication done for us to be on the same level, for us to even be like, get closure from the situation. So that was the type of guy he is. Hold on, guys. I put my son to sleep, so I'm trying to just make sure he's not crying. Okay, he's not crying. He's still asleep. So I got really upset that day. We were supposed to go to the hotel. We were supposed to kick it. We were supposed to hang out. I was going to tell him I was pregnant. So he wound up not actually showing up. So he wound up just canceling it. And me and my sister were supposed to go. I called the hotel and found out something was wrong with my card, so it didn't go through. Boom, back. Okay. And later that night, we were actually supposed to hang out again. He was supposed to just come over my place. We hang out, we chill, we kick it. And he wound up not coming over that night either. So on top of him not coming to the hotel, we rescheduled for later that night, and he wound up not coming that night either. So on top of me being upset from the first incident of you not showing up, now I'm 10 times more upset because now we reschedule, and now you're telling me that you're not gonna show up. So okay, so I get very upset, and we get into an argument, a little argument. We going back and forth. So I just decided, I don't know when I'm gonna see you because you keep rescheduling. So I just sent him a picture of the pregnancy test. I sent him the picture of the pink pregnancy test with the 2 lines. I had captioned it, what a blessing. And I just sent it to him. And he calls me. Like, I sent it to him, and he calls me like 2 seconds later after I sent the picture. After he's seen it, he calls me 2 seconds later. Like, he's like, babe. I said, yeah. He's like, what are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? He's like, no. He said, really? I said, what? He said, you pregnant? I said, yeah, I am. He's like, really? I said, yeah. He's like, what are we gonna do? I said, I don't know. I haven't had enough time to think about what are we gonna do, because at this point I don't even know where we stand. I don't even know if there is a we. I just don't know. And this is why I wanted to just see you in person and tell him, so that we can have this conversation face to face. These type of conversations I don't want to have over the phone. I don't want to have over text message. I want to be directly in your face, so we can talk. We can look each other in the eyes and say what it is that we really feel, now that something so serious has come to the surface. Like, I understand, and I was kind of expecting it, which is sad. But honestly, guys, I was kind of expecting him to be upset that I was pregnant, just because the simple fact that it felt to me that we were in a relationship, but at the same time it didn't. It didn't feel like we were in a relationship. It just felt like he came around for what he wanted, and I allowed him to come around for what I wanted. I had something he wanted, he had something I wanted, and we used it to each other's advantage. And a baby was made out of it. Like, there's nobody to blame in the situation. We laid down, we made a baby, and now it's time to man up and take care of this baby, period. So it didn't go like that, guys. So this is the part where I'm about to just get into how our relationship went from to me thinking that we were in a relationship, to me thinking that we're good, to me thinking that we're friends, to me thinking that the whole situation was just deeper than what I assumed it was. So after I tell him I'm pregnant, we don't talk for a couple weeks. Like, I think it's like 3 to 4 weeks straight we don't talk. So I'm just like, okay, let me give him a little bit time to just register the fact that I'm pregnant, to just clear his mind, to just you know when you tell somebody you're pregnant, like, even as women, when you found out you're pregnant, you need time to, like, just get your thoughts together, just relax, just take a walk and breathe, like, inhale, exhale type of situation. Like, I'm really pregnant. There's a baby in me, growing in me. I'm about to give life. This is amazing, but it's scary, and it involves a whole nother person. And the thought of, like, the fact that, like, I was just thinking, like, this person doesn't have to be involved. Like, this person, I'm not going to say all dads, but dads can just walk away so easily. Like, they don't have to stay. And I know the mom doesn't have to stay either, but it's harder. It's harder as a woman. I know some women do it. Some women can walk away from their kids after giving birth. Some women can just say, oh, here, take this baby. But I feel like for women, it's 10 times harder. Like, you carry that baby for 10 months or 9+ months, or for however long you carried your child, and then the child is born. Your body has gone through so many changes within that 9 months. Like, your body is literally growing a human being, like a little mini you. Your body is growing a mini human being, and it's amazing. Like, it's just amazing. So let me get back on track, guys. Back to the part where I was saying we haven't talked in 2 to 3 weeks. And I was like, okay. So at this time, when I went to the hospital, when I found out I was pregnant, I was about 7 or 6 weeks. I think I was like 7 weeks pregnant. They gave me an ultrasound. From us not talking to the time point of when I told him that I was pregnant, we haven't talked in, like, I would say the maximum was about 3 to 4 weeks. We haven't talked in about 3 to 4 weeks. I think I've been to like 2 doctor's appointments in that time frame. Just had an ultrasound in that time frame. I started my prenatals in that time frame. Like, at this point, you're not talking to me, and I'm reaching out to you, and I'm just trying to communicate about our child, and you're stuck on the fact that there is a child, and you're stuck on the fact that the decision for this child is really up to me. And that's why I feel like I hurt him in a way, because he feels like I didn't give him a chance to express how he felt. I didn't give him a chance to tell me to get rid of my baby, or to get an abortion, or to take a plan B, or any of that. But that came later. You said all those things. And at this point, I'm just like, when you told me you want me to have an abortion, I knew in my mind I was going to be a single mom. Because at that time, when you had time to think about this, you had time to dwell, you had time to think like, oh, yeah, this is the mother of my child now. This is the mother of my child now. And I guess him thinking in that time frame from the 3 to 4 weeks that we weren't talking at all, I guess he made up his mind. He completely made up his mind about me. We went from my understanding, we went from being good friends. We went from being able to communicate and talk to each other. We went from having an understanding to completely, you don't want anything to do with me. You don't want anything to do with this child. I mean nothing to you. You never even wanted a baby. It just switched. It was just like a light switch on how fast our relationship has dramatically changed since I told this man that I was pregnant. So now here we are in this mind space of this negative mindset of him wanting me to get rid of my baby. And I'm just like, I understand where you're coming from. I understand. And I'm listening to you and I'm hearing you, but you're not hearing me and you're not listening to me. And that's where we collide. That's where all the arguments started happening. That's when we started distancing ourselves from each other. That's when we just completely fell off. Like, our relationship was just not what it seemed to be to me. It was just not. It was just all a movie. I was living in a fairy tale. It was done. What we used to have to what we have now that a baby is involved is 10 times worse now, because our relationship has dramatically changed since I told you I was pregnant. So that really played an effect on my depression, which I'm going to get a little bit into. I was very depressed. I would say most of my pregnancy, I was very depressed. I was depressed in the beginning because I was scared that I could miscarry at any time. I was having anxiety attacks. I was having panic attacks. I didn't know what was going to happen with my body. I just didn't know because I was a new mom. I didn't know what to expect. My emotions were all over the place. I didn't know how to handle them. So I was depressed. I fell into depression. And at this time, I am fully registered in my mind that I'm depressed. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with feeling how I feel, get through my feelings, not talking. But being pregnant and you know your hormones are all over the place and being depressed, it makes being depressed 10 times worse. On top of having anxiety, on top of having morning sickness, on top of having to do it all by yourself without the help of the other parent, it really puts you in a negative mindset. Like, it really puts you in a place where you're thinking like, do I deserve this baby? Does this baby even deserve me? And that really set it off for me. Like, I expressed to the father of my child that I'm sorry if I hurt you. I'm sorry if me keeping this baby has completely like changed our relationship. If you want to have nothing to do with me, I'm completely sorry for that. And that's my anxiety kicking in. That's my emotional side kicking in, because I really have nothing to apologize for. We both laid down and made this baby. Why am I apologizing for that? Why am I apologizing for being the adult and stepping up and taking care of my responsibilities? I shouldn't have to apologize for that. But at the time, I apologized. It was said what was said. We were still communicating, but barely. We were barely communicating. If I didn't text him, if I didn't hit him up, if I didn't call him, we were not going to talk about this baby at all. He had just completely ignored the fact that I was pregnant. Like, he just didn't care. He could go days without talking about it. He could see me and just not even interact with me, not even like look at my big old pregnant belly at the time. Like, it just put me in a very depressed state, guys. Like, I was very depressed. And then on top of that, my whole entire pregnancy, I'm not going to say I was alone, but it would have helped if the father of my child was there to support me a little bit, just because this is your child. But I definitely had support from my family, my friends. I just had a lot of support, but deep down inside, it wasn't the support that I felt like I needed at the time. I felt like I needed the support from the father of my child. Like, I felt like that would have like did something to me. That would have made me feel like 10 times better if you would at least just show up to a doctor's appointment, if you would at least just show up for your child, if you would at least just have a conversation about what are the next steps now that it is already determined that I'm keeping this baby. Like, what are the next steps? And none of that was happening. None of those type of conversations were happening. We wasn't having conversations about what I'm going to do when the baby gets here. What are we going to do about co-parenting, going back to work? None of those conversations were had. Never. Not one time did we have a conversation. Did we sit down face to face, or did we talk over the phone about what it's going to be like? How do we see our life with this baby? It was not talked about. It was not spoken of. This baby did not exist to him. In his head, this baby did not exist. He did not want this baby to exist. He did not want me to give birth to this child. In his mind, there is no baby. Until this day, there is no baby. He don't claim his son. He don't call and check on his son. He don't do none of that. This child doesn't exist to him. And it's been like that for the longest time. So let me just rewind, guys. Let me just rewind back to what I was speaking about when I was talking about, what was I just speaking about? What was I just talking about? I forgot. What was I just talking about? Oh yeah, about the conversations that were never being had. So that put me in a depression. This is why I'm still pregnant, guys. I was depressed my whole entire pregnancy. I really didn't have a good pregnancy, and I really feel bad for saying it, but I just feel like this pregnancy, my first pregnancy, was not a good pregnancy for me. I was not happy. I was happy, but I was not as happy as I could have been or I should have been. I was very depressed. I was very withdrawn from people. I was very nervous as the time came closer to me actually giving birth. I was very nervous. I was very jittery, can I do this? Should I do this? Is he gonna come? My mind was just going fast. So I got depressed in the beginning of my pregnancy, now leading to the middle, closer to the end of my pregnancy. We actually had one conversation about him not wanting to have the baby, and basically him just saying he doesn't know where our relationship stand, me and his relationship stand as far as a relationship. But he was saying that he would be there for his child, he would be there for his son, just saying all the stuff at the time that I thought I wanted to hear. So I'm just like, oh, so you are telling me, now we're having this conversation, now that I'm 7 months pregnant, now we want to have this conversation about you being there for your son and you being involved in your son's life. But I completely accepted the fact that you don't know where we stand, because I don't even know where we stand. For right now, we stand in one place, and that's being parents to our son. As far as all that relationship stuff went out the window with me when he started treating me differently. When I told him I was pregnant, I understand you could feel differently towards me, you can have negative feelings towards me, but when you show me that this is the person that you're gonna be towards me now, because I am pregnant, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I don't want to be with a person like that. I don't want to really even associate with a person like that. But we have to associate because we have a baby now. We have a son now. So that just, at the time, I was just like, hey, you don't know where we stand in a relationship, neither do I. So let's just be parents. Let's just co-parent. And I was still a little bit depressed, but I was just easing out of my depression, just really focusing on giving birth to my baby, just really focused on doing hospital visits, getting out of the house more, doing stretches, getting dancing, just my mind just fully went into getting ready to have this baby mode. So everything else to me was just BS. It was BS to me. It was BS. You're using a baby as an excuse to be disrespectful to the mother of your child. You're using a baby as an excuse to be this person when you know you can be 10 times better. You're using a baby as an excuse to be an ass. You're using your son as an excuse to treat his mom like I'm nothing to you. But that's fine. That's fine, guys. So this is about 7 to 8 months. I was 7 to 8 months pregnant. After we had that conversation, to him just wanting to be there for the child. He don't know where the relationship stands. It's fine. And I'm just that's fine, because I don't really want to have to argue with you. I don't really want to have to go back and forth with you about how did you switch up from this? How did we go from so good to so bad? That's really what I was searching for in him, like searching for. I just really wanted to know, like, how did we go from so good to so bad unless we were never really good? You feel me? Like, you know how you think you're on the same page with somebody and then something happens and then it just shows their true colors. Like, whoa, like, were we ever in good hands? Like, were we ever, like, were you even really messing with me the way you claimed that you were messing with me? Or you were just telling me what I wanted to hear? And I found out that he was just telling me what I wanted to hear because I was falling for it. I was showing him that I was falling for what he was saying. I was falling for his words instead of like falling for his actions. And that's where I messed up at. That is definitely where I messed up at. So we had this conversation many a times of him. He's going to be there for his child. So I have the baby. I gave birth to my son on May the 7th, 2019. I actually seen the father of my child the day that I went into labor. The day that I had my child, I had to be induced. My blood pressure was so high because I was like so stressed out. I had seen him before. I had seen him on my way to my doctor's appointment that day. I think that day I became 9 months pregnant. That day I was at like the 40 weeks like pregnancy. I was like 9 months pregnant that day. I was already over 38 weeks. So I had seen him that day, and just his energy, just seeing him, just his energy, just seeing him just rubbed me the wrong way. Just knowing all the things he said to me, my whole entire pregnancy, how he treated me my whole entire pregnancy, just the person that he is, like the person that he is now since I told him I was pregnant. Like, it just really did something to me being around him, because I'm just like you're fake. Like, that's fake, because you had me really thinking that this was something when it was nothing at all. It was nothing. Like I said, you had something that I wanted, and I had something that you wanted. That's what it was. And for anybody that's know what I'm saying, you know what I'm talking about. I know it's probably kids that watch this video, but you know what I'm saying. My son was not planned, but he is a blessing. He was not planned. We did not lay down and say, oh, let's have a baby, but we did lay down and do the adult activities. So now I'm going to woman up and take care of my responsibilities with or without you. So the day that I see him on my way to the hospital, on my way to my doctor's office, I don't know how the conversation went, but it was real fake. Like I said, guys, we were bashing heads. We were at each other's neck. We was arguing. And then when I seen him in person that day, it was just like back to the old you, or back to what I first recognized you as being so sweet, as being so nice. He's rubbing on my belly. He touched my belly. We had a conversation. There was like no like animosity in the air. We were good, and I'm just like, wait. Didn't you just tell me the other day you wanted me to get rid of my baby, and you don't want to have nothing to do with me, and possibly nothing to do with this baby? But he was being so nice, and that just set me off, guys. I'm pregnant. I'm hormonal. Like, him just being so fake, like, towards me that day. Like, after everything, after we've been arguing my whole entire pregnancy, he's been stressing me out my whole entire pregnancy, he want to be nice to me all of a sudden. And I'm just like, no, I'm not falling for it no more. I'm not falling for the act. I'm not falling for your words. I'm not falling for that. So he got so nice to me, and I was just like, don't, please don't take me back. Please. This is where we are now. What you used to be, what I know you as what you used to be, is not who you are. And you already showed me that. So that really set me off. That really had me upset, the conversation that we had. He had told me prior to me seeing him that day, that he had already made up his mind about me, and that he don't want to be in a relationship with me, but he'll just be there for his child. And I said, okay. And then I guess the energy that I was giving off to him made him upset that day. And he was just like, is this how you're going to treat me now? And I'm just like, how am I going to treat you, sir? The same exact way you've been treating me my entire pregnancy? Yes, I am. Because this is some BS. You completely switched up on me. You completely switched up on me. I'm sorry, guys. I keep looking out the window. I'm sitting in my sister's room while my son sleep in my room. But you've completely switched up on me. And what? You want me to say what? You want me to be like what? What exactly? So that really did something to me. Him being like all fake towards me. And him like just trying to check me on how I need to treat him. Like, sir, no, I'm going to treat you the same exact way that you've been treating me, you know? So that day, after me and my sister had left, we went to the doctor's appointment, and I was just talking about it the entire time. Like, I was just talking to my sister, like, I don't even know how he can just sit up there and act like he's so nice to me after all he done put me through. Everything that he done said to me to hurt my feelings, to make me depressed, to make me lose this baby. Like, you were completely stressing me out. And like that, I was just venting to my sister as we're on the way, as we're on the way to the doctor's office. I'm just getting heated and heated and heated and heated, and that is what made my blood pressure go high. So when I got to the doctors, they checked my blood pressure and they was like, "Oh, Miss Harris, your blood pressure's high." They waited, checked it again, drank some water, relaxed, calmed my heartbeat down because I did walk up the steps. I mean, we were walking, and my heartbeat slowed down. Took my blood pressure again. Oh, Miss Harris, your blood pressure is still high. It was actually 2 points higher than the first time when they took it. So it was actually getting higher. So, as you guys know, what preeclampsia is, it's when you have high blood pressure in your pregnancy. It can cause a lot of problems for you and the baby. So, I was immediately sent over to the hospital. My doctor's office was right here. The hospital was literally right here. So, all I had to do was walk up the street to the hospital. So, they told me that I was going to go over to the hospital. I was going to be induced. All of that. Now, remember this, guys. I was not dilated. I was not effaced. I was not anything prior to me being sent over to the hospital and being induced. So they sent me over there to be induced. I didn't have any bag. I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm having panic attacks. Like, it's just so much going on in my mind, on top of the fact that this man is really about to make me just go through all this by myself. Even if you don't even know where we stand in a relationship, at the end of the day, you fathering a child. Like, you had, like, be a father to your child before trying to be a man for a woman. Like, I'm going to be a mother to my son before I try to be a woman to you. Like, before I try to be in a relationship with you. The relationship is fine. We don't have to be in a relationship. But you, as a grown man who laid down and did adult things, you need to be that same grown man and man up and take care of your responsibilities. And that is what was frustrating me the most. And that's what really put me into a depressed state, especially after I had my son. Because as you guys know, I was sent over to the hospital to be induced. I was not effaced. I was not dilated at all. They induced me. I was induced for about, I would say about a couple hours. I would say 8 or 9 hours I was induced. I dilated to 4 centimeters and he stopped dilating. My son completely stopped dilating. He stopped. He was so far up, he wouldn't come down anymore. And at this time, I had already had the epidural. I couldn't take the pain. I was sleepy. My mind was racing. I was having panic attacks, anxiety attacks. It was just so much that was going on with me giving birth to my child. So I'm in the hospital and I'm texting him. I'm texting the father of my child. I'm texting him and I'm letting him know, I'm about to have your baby. Like, I am about to have your child, sir. So he texts me back, "Who is this?" And I'm just like, I know he has other kids with other women, but I'm texting you and I'm saying I'm about to have your child. And you're texting me back, "Who is this?" Who else is about to have your child, sir? Who else? that I don't know of, that I didn't know of at the time. But apparently, there was somebody else. So, I'm in the hospital. I'm being induced. I'm going through all the emotions. I'm going through all the pain. I'm going through all the steps. My son stops dilating at 4 centimeters. He stopped coming down. He didn't drop. My cervix stopped dilating. So I had to have an emergency C-section, guys. So I kind of already knew. My doctor had already told me at my doctor's appointment that since I wasn't in phase, since I wasn't dilating, since my cervix wasn't softening, there is a possibility that I would have to have an emergency C-section, because that's such a hard, they basically just have to force my body into labor and to do what it naturally is supposed to do. And that could stop forcing your body to do something that's supposed to do naturally. Could actually force your body to lock up and not do what it's supposed to do naturally. So I guess that's what happened. I dilated to 4 centimeters. He completely stopped dilating, and then I had to have an emergency C-section. So I had my emergency C-section. I had my son at like 2:15 p.m. He was out. The recovery process was hard. It was long. Let's just fast forward to me being back in the mommy and me room. So here I am again. I am texting the father of my child. I am letting him know that his child is born. I basically just sent him a picture of the baby. And that day after he was born, we were texting the whole time. We were texting about how he was going to come up here and see the baby, how he was going to come and sign the birth certificate. Oh, and mind you guys, we were arguing closer to the end of my pregnancy about my son having his dad's last name. He wanted my son to have his last name after the fact that he has already told me that he's completely done with me. He want me to get rid of my baby. After the fact that he just made it seem like he's not going to be there for the baby, he wanted my son to have his last name. Okay, I just wanted to throw that in there because that's crazy to me. So, fast forward back to where I was at. I sent him a picture of the baby. I sent him a picture of my child. I let him know he was born. I might include pictures in this video as well so that you guys can see too. He was born. So, I included pictures. I let him know. I sent him pictures. I said, oh, hey, your son is here, Mason. He has his middle name. His name is Mason. He has his dad's middle name. And he has my last name, which is Harris. So his name is Mason. His dad's middle name, Harris. I'm not going to put my son's whole name out there. His name is Mason Harris. So, he wanted... So, matter of fact, I'm not even going to go backwards. I'm just going to talk forwards now. I sent him a picture and let him know that my son was here. We were talking that entire day. Mind you, if you have ever had a C-section, you guys know that you are in the hospital for 3 to 4 days max. 4 days at the max, unless something went on wrong with your C-section, unless they found any reason that you need to be in the hospital longer than 4 days. So me personally, I was in the hospital for 3 whole days after my baby was born. 3 whole days. So that counts the day that he was born at 2:15 p.m. That night counts as one night. I was there the 8th of May, and I was there the 9th of May. I checked out on the 9th day of May. 3 days. Well, 2 days after my child was born. So, we were texting the same day he was born about him coming up here and signing the birth certificate. Okay, he couldn't make it that day because he had his daughter. You could just bring your daughter here because she's a sibling of the child that was just born, so she's allowed to come. But that's no never mind. That's fine. You want to use your child again as an excuse not to be there for your other kids. So that's fine. I see what we're getting into here. So the next day, mind you, I had my son on the 7th. We were talking the whole day, the 7th, because he was supposed to come up there on the 8th. If you guys know, you know if you had a baby, they don't make you do anything the day that you have the baby. Everything is after. You have 24 hours. 24 hours to sign the birth certificate, to get all the documents in. 24 hours after the time that the baby is born. So I had my son on the 7th. He was supposed to come up there on the 8th to sign the birth certificate. just to do that, to see his son, spend quality time with his son. And he wound up not coming. He wound up using his daughter as an excuse not to come to the hospital. And that's fine. Oh, and he also said he lost his ID. Mind you, the day that I was induced, I didn't have my C-section until hours later. So I gave this man every step of the way. I have notified him every step of the way, from the time that I was sent over to the hospital, from the time that they started my induction, from the time that I had my C-section. You had time to get all this information done, because this is not your first child. You know, I don't know if he's ever been there for any of his other childs being born, but you know, like, I'm pretty sure you know you have multiple kids. So that just really rubbed me the wrong way as well too, because you didn't show up to the hospital when your son was born. You wanted him to have your last name, but you didn't want to come up there and sign the birth certificate at all. So like I said, guys, this was all happening after the fact that I gave birth to my son. So I guess after I gave birth to my son, I was just like, maybe he'll come around. Maybe he'll just realize that this baby is a blessing, and that this baby deserves all of his mom's love, all of his dad's love. Maybe he will come around. And then a part of me just really just held on to that, like really held on to the thought, like, that this man will come around. Like, no matter what me and him been through personally, that I will hope that as a man that you can just be there for your child. Just be there for your child off grip. Just, it is what it is. Just be there for your child. But it was not like that, and it is still not like that to this day. So I'm just gonna go into postpartum depression, my anxiety, and just how I was after I had my baby, and how I am now that I am raising my baby by myself, and how is it now that I've completely decided to just not have any interactions with his father. So yeah, I broke it down for you guys from the beginning, and now this is the end. I had my baby at this time. He didn't show up to the hospital. He didn't sign a birth certificate. I had my baby, so this is after I had my baby. So now, 3 days from being discharged after the hospital. After 3 days, I was discharged on the third day. I was discharged on May 9th. I go back home. I am relaxed. I am healing from a C-section, guys. If you know you had a C-section, you know you had a C, you'll know. If anybody has had a C-section, comment down below your experience, because mine was so hard. Like, I'm pretty sure it was hard for everybody, but my pain tolerance is... Alright guys, I'm sorry. Somebody had called me and interrupted the video and cut the video off. So I'll just pick up from where I left off. Is basically after my C-section. After my C-section is when... I'm sorry guys, somebody's texting me. So this is after I had my baby, and basically home. This is basically just post-op. So I'm home. After a C-section, this is the time I got my own place. I am home. I'm just like, I'm just really just stuck in this amazed state, but at the same time, I can't feel complete happiness, because in my mind, I just know, like, my son is just gonna be without his dad. Like, he's just gonna be without his dad. And that it took so much for me to, like, just accept the fact that it's okay. It's okay that he's gonna be without his dad. I'm gonna try not to cry, guys. It's okay. Like, it took me a very long time to accept the fact that I'm a single mom. Like, it was never planned for me to be a single mom. Like, if I knew that I was going to be a single mom, I would have just, like, not even dealt with this man. Like, not even had anything to do with him. But on my way home from the hospital, I was very amazed that I just gave birth to this handsome, adorable little baby boy. And I'm just like, I'm so happy. But I'm sorry, guys. But in my mind, I'm just like, I'm so scared. Like, I'm so scared to do it by myself. I'm so scared to raise him by myself because I don't know what it's like to be a man. I don't know. I don't know anything about being a man. I don't know. I just don't know. And it was like so many thoughts that were going on in my head. Like, how am I going to teach him certain things about manhood that I don't know that his dad would be able to teach him? Or how am I going to be able to do this without his dad? Or how am I going to be able to just be a good mom? How do I explain to my son that his dad wants nothing to do with him? Like, I don't know how to explain that, and I feel like I shouldn't have to. I feel like that's now where I'm at, is the fact that I'm trying to avoid that. I'm just trying to, like, just stay away. If you're going to be away, just stay away. Like, there is no, I'm here 1 minute and I'm here the next. No, I'm not going to put my son through that. I'm not going to put myself through that. No, it's not happening. So, there is so many emotions going on in my head as I'm on my way home from the hospital, from having a baby. There's so many things going through my head, guys. Like, so many thoughts. Like, so many thoughts. So I get home. I was in a very emotional state for about, up until like 2-3, I would say about 2 months. When my son turned like 2 months, I was in a very emotional state of like, I can't do this without this man. Like, I can't raise my son without his father. I was in that mind state because I was depressed. I was in that mind state because I was a new mom and I was suffering from postpartum depression. Like, there was a point where I would just send him pictures every day of his son just so that he can just know, like, this is an innocent baby. You realize that the only person that you are hurting in this situation is your son. And you hurting him is hurting me. Because you're hurting your flesh and blood. Like, this is your flesh and blood. Like, this is your son. This is your seed. It is what it is. You didn't want me to have him, but I had him. So just man up and be there for your child. Please. Please. So, as I'm on my way home, those are the thoughts that are going through my head. A lot of thoughts are going through my head. I get home for about 2 or 3 months that my son has been here. I would get very depressed at times. I would get very depressed. I would cry when my son cried. Like, seeing my son cry or feeling like he's in any type of pain would hurt me. Like, I would cry when he cried. I wouldn't want to put him down. Guys, I had a C-section, so you can just imagine. My first night home, I was here by myself. You can just imagine, like, me walking around, like, so slow, being in so much pain, having to get out of bed and make bottles, freshly out of surgery, guys. Freshly out of surgery, barely being able to move. It was a lot. It was definitely a lot for me to go through my entire pregnancy and then after pregnancy by myself. I mean, not by myself, but you guys know what I mean. Not without the help of the other parent, which is how it should be. Which is how it should be. Nobody else should have to play a dad role. I know there are men out there that are willing to step up to the plate to raise someone else's baby as their own, but I just feel like it's not fair. I feel like even if you do, as a man, step up to a plate to take care of someone else's baby, I feel like the father should at least be having some interactions with the child. Like, I was at the state where I wanted my child to know his dad, but now I'm just like, no, I don't want you to know him because he doesn't want to know you. I'm not going to force you. I'm not going to force him onto my child. I'm not going to force my child onto him. It just is what it is. So I am home. I am going through my postpartum stages of depression. I'm going through my high and my lows. I'm happy. I'm not happy. the things that I'll be thinking about I'm not really supposed to think about as a new mom. It was just a lot, and it's normal and it's okay to speak about your truth. Yeah, I did suffer from postpartum. I kind of think I still got it. I'm definitely getting help for it. I'm seeing a therapist now. I'm getting out more. I'm trying to work on my social anxieties. I'm trying to work on my separation anxiety from my son. I'm just trying to work on being a better woman so that I can be a better mom. So that was that. I'm sorry, guys. I told myself I was not gonna cry, but it's okay. But it's hard. It's hard, guys. It's hard being a single mom, whether you're a young mom, whether you're a young single mom, whether you chose to be a single mom, whether like anything. It's hard being a mom in general and doing it and having to do it like all by yourself without the help of the other parent. It's just 10 times more hard. And it's not just hard, it's so many other emotions that come with it being hard that are not even being spoken about in the community. Like, there's depression, like there's these thoughts that you have, like, why? It's just thoughts that go through your head, like, how as a man can you lay down and make a baby and not want anything to do with your seed? And that puts you in a very negative mind state as well, because you're thinking like, how? Like, how? What kind of person could do that? What? It doesn't make you, I don't know. I'm not going to speak on what it makes you, but it definitely makes you think about it a lot. A lot. It definitely makes you think about it a lot. So, yeah. So, that's basically just my experience of being a single mom. Basically how I went through my entire pregnancy by myself. How I dealt with my postpartum depression, how am I still dealing with my postpartum depression, how am I dealing with my anxiety, how am I dealing with my social anxiety, my separation anxiety, how I'm dealing with so many things that having a baby has brought to the surface. I would have never thought that I was this depressed until I had my baby. I would have never thought that I could get so low into a point where I'm just like, I don't even want to wake up. I don't even want to roll out of the bed. I never would have thought it would have got to this, but it did, and I am on my path to healing. Like, I'm not going to let another person's mistakes influence me to do bad things to myself, to do bad things to others. I'm just trying to stay focused and be positive, and just be a good mom and a better woman. So that's just my story, guys. I just wanted to definitely share that as I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I know there's a lot of people out there that may suffer from postpartum depression or anxiety or bipolar depression or any type of mental health problem that probably was caused by having a baby. And what I mean by that is, having a baby, you know, your body changes. Your body goes through different hormones. So you could have been feeling depressed prior to you even feeling like knowing that you were pregnant. But now that you know you're pregnant and you're about to give birth and you're about to go through all these hormonal changes, that just puts you into a deeper depression. I don't really know how to explain it, but it just gets you thinking, and when you think, you overthink, and when you overthink, you can send yourself into depression, you can send yourself into a panic attack, you can send yourself into an anxiety attack. It's just all about controlling your own thoughts and not letting other people's thoughts control your thoughts. And that's what I've learned, as far as like being in therapy, as far as like giving myself little exercises, like going out once a week maybe without my baby. It's just little things that I'm doing because I'm trying to be more positive, guys. So I just wanted to do a little story time on how it is for me, being a single mom, and how it was going through my pregnancy by myself without the help of the father, and how it is now raising my child without the help of his dad. So I just thought that this would be like a good story time to put on the channel. just to open up the conversation more about postpartum and how your body changes and just feelings, because I feel like there's a lot of women out there that are suffering in silence. There are a lot of moms. There are not even just moms, guys. There's just a lot of women out there that are suffering from postpartum depression or bipolar depression or anxiety or all of that are suffering in silence. And I feel like as a woman or as a person, nobody should have to suffer in silence, you know? There should always be a platform for you to come out and express yourself. And that's what I want this family channel to be. I want this family channel to just show how powerful women can be, and women can do it. Women can be single moms. Women can raise little boys into great, amazing men. That's just what I want this YouTube channel to be. I want it to be a platform where women can come, all women, moms, lesbian women, bisexual women, any woman that's suffering from any mental illness should not be suffering in silence, especially women that have kids, because I know sometimes women blame themselves for feeling depressed or feeling or having postpartum after having a baby. They feel like they blame themselves for that. They feel like that is a feeling of not wanting your baby or resenting your baby or not feeling as connected to your baby. It doesn't mean that. It's just that your body, when you're pregnant, is on 10,000, and you just had this baby and your body dropped from 10,000 to like 5 in a matter of like one day. And that sends your body through so many changes and so many emotional challenges. It just sends your body through so much. Can you imagine you going from this to this in like so fast? That's what your body is doing when you have a baby. Your hormone levels are so high. They're all over the place. And then once you have your baby, your body has to drop back down to its normal hormone levels. Your body has to get back to how it was before there was a baby in there, you know? Back to yourself. And that puts you, it's just like it hits. It puts you in a place where you don't even know how you got to this place. You don't know why you are at this place, but you will overcome it. You will get out of that place. You will be great. You will overcome anything and everything that is put into your way. You will overcome every obstacle. You're great. Women are amazing. Women give birth to kids. Women are amazing. Moms are amazing. We just have to start coming together as a community, as far as just being there for each other and supporting each other on every platform there is. Like, just not even YouTube. Like, there should be a bigger platform than YouTube. There should be a whole mental health. I don't know, guys, but I'm not even going to get into that. Like I said, I just wanted to make this video for you guys so that I could just tell my story. This can be a kickoff to our story times, and maybe I will do like story times on Saturdays, or Saturday story times, or Sunday story times, and you guys can just give me a topic and I can just give you guys my opinion on how I would handle it. I'll try to just do my best. If I haven't been through that situation that you guys want a story time about, I'll definitely like just do my best on explaining what I would do in this situation and giving my advice to you if you've been through that situation. So guys, I just want to thank you guys for watching this video. I know I got a little bit emotional, but that's fine. Guys, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And also click the notification button so that you can be notified every time a video is dropped. We are about to start uploading like crazy. Now that holidays is coming up, we're about to start doing a lot more with these kids, getting these kids out of the house. So yeah, just make sure you comment ideas. I think I'm going to stick to story time Saturdays, do a story time every Saturday. You guys comment down below some topics that you want me to do, and I'll just pick a topic every Saturday. And I'll probably just shout you out in the video to let them know that this is your topic or not. Or it can just be like I'm just speaking directly to you about your topic. So I just want to thank you guys for watching the video. And that is just basically my story time on how I feel about being a single mom and all the struggles and obstacles that were put in my way, but I definitely will overcome them. And it only gets better from here. It only goes up from here, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll probably be posting in a couple of days, but I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my social medias down below. It will be in the link down below, guys. You can also hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that. All that will be down below. We are accepting video ideas like crazy, guys. We are new to YouTube, so we just want to keep it related to the family channel. We don't want to really go outside of the family channel. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I'm just chatting now. But yeah, I'm about to go and clean up while my baby is asleep. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.